Greetings, family. We got a great show for y'all today, as we are in the 23rd episode. My friend is in Jamaica doing her thing, but we're going to bring her on. She's right now backstairs. The healing vibes are in the building. What's up, girl?
Hi, hello.
Hello. Hello. What's up? How you feeling?
Wagwan, eh?
Wagwan. Everything all right? You out there in Jamaica? You're feeling good? You're
Yeah,
feeling good in Jamaica? How you feeling in Jamaica?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling blessed. I'm
That's
feeling
good.
blessed.
That's good. Jamaica is ready, man. Jamaica ready. I'm in New York right now, so I don't have my regular background, so I got ready.
Yeah.
Big up to you, of course. Big up to the family, and big up to everybody that came out to see us in New York. We had a great turnout for both days,
Oh, awesome.
and yeah, I'm turned up, man. I'm turned up. Just to show people how important it is for us to gather together. Because
Yes.
when two or more comes together, that's what it is. You
Mm-hmm.
know, two or
Mm-hmm.
more come together. It's very important. You know.
Powerful.
Yes. Well, we got an exciting show coming up. Just waiting for him to come on up and show his face.
Yeah.
And we do what we got to do on at 8 p.m. our time.
8 p.m.
What time you at Jamaica? What time is it in Jamaica now?
Now it is 6:58 p.m.
6:58. Okay, you're an hour behind. Okay, and if he's in California, he'd be 3 hours behind. So
Right.
just you know, and that's beautiful to know. So how's Jamaica? Tell people how's Jamaica. Some people can't make it all day, and tell them how Jamaica is right now. How it feeling
It's
out
beautiful, but I think you mentioned this, so I came out because my uncle
there? Yeah.
passed. So it's been emotional but also
Yeah.
beautiful because all the family members are together, and it we haven't done this in such a long time, since I was a kid. I haven't seen some of my cousins, and I'm meeting some of my cousins for the first time, so
Mhm.
spending time with them has been so beautiful and so powerful to just make that reconnection as adults and just fortitude, build that bond,
Mhm.
um, which is really important because we're the next generation.
Right. Right.
Parents aren't going to live forever, so that's the reality. So if we can strengthen the bond between this generation, it will be really helpful as we move forward. So yeah, I'm really grateful that I've had this time to do that. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you have. I mean, I haven't been to Jamaica in many years because of
Yeah.
my own issues. Hold on one second. Let me put myself back up here with you because they're hiding out of the background. Yeah. So, I haven't been to Jamaica in a long time, man. I really do miss Jamaica. I would be there if didn't have those little passport things. I would have been there probably every year, knowing me. I love Jamaica. I love going to the river. I love going to the
Right.
ocean and everywhere. You know what I'm
Listen,
saying? That was just me.
the ocean it's so healing. I
It's to
can't
live.
even describe. You guys,
It's
family,
to it's to live for, not die for.
family, if you can get out there, please do. We have many contacts that are out here that you can get in contact with. You know,
Right.
do it. Do it.
Yeah. Very, Jamaica. I know it's a little occasion for you right now, and I wish a lot of us nowadays didn't only gather during these occasions, like
Preach.
only funeral and marriages. That's it. But we need to, constantly have. My family used to have, what you call it, family reunions in different places and all that stuff. And
Yeah,
I think a lot of us need to get to know the grandchildren, great grands, and all that kind of stuff for
we
those type
absolutely do.
of
Yeah,
fears and not wait until we transition. It's
absolutely.
been a rough road because of it's been a learning road. I won't say rough. It's been a
Mhm.
learning road because, people are so inundated with the social media and what's going on. And of course, our brother that's about to come on in a few, he's been very highly banned from it, but highly visual and visual on it too. So You know,
Right.
we're still waiting for Brother Rizza Islam to come in the building. You know, he's always working. We got Rizza Islam coming up. Message to the millennials. So, young folks that are out there, if you're, he's a young person himself, born March 17th. His birthday just passed last month. So, big up to him.
Yes.
And, you know, he's doing great works out there in the world. And we're proud to have him on the show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know he meant a lot to you during the whole thing. So, you know, tell the people how that transpired before he comes on.
Listen. Oh, so as I'm sure many of us, had during that time, the before,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the after 2019 time,
Right,
um, how the world really flipped upside down, and
right,
some of us felt really unseen, unheard, under supported, really,
right.
really out in the cold. And to have someone like, for me, I'll speak for myself personally, seeing someone like Brother Rizza Islam talk and share so much potent content to help us heal,
Hmm.
to get us in right alignment with our health, mentally, physically, emotional. Y'all,
Hmm.
that was a saving grace for me. And, we know that he was a part of the Disinformation Dozen. And that's how
Hmm.
I discovered him, because one of the people that I followed for many years, Christiane Northrup, uh,
Hmm.
was added to that list. And I was like, what?
Hmm.
That's really
Oh,
weird.
that's the one that wrote the book, Dodging Energy Vampires. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
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 I refer her book all the time, reference her book all the time.
yeah.
Mhm.
She's
So,
like just a beautiful. She's been on the Oprah show
hold on.
several times. She was on the New York Times bestsellers list, and then with her, they placed her on this list. So then I started to research everyone on this list and realized that they were really knowledgeable, powerful people doing amazing work for humanity on a whole. So I started to follow Riza. I followed all the pages after they got deleted, because he was just giving away so much free information. So yeah, he's
Keep on talking. I have to get him on. Hold on. Keep on
okay.
talking.
He's a national treasure, y'all. Yeah, like, it's just so helpful, so helpful. So I I have not read his book yet. It is definitely on my list. I need to get my hands on that book. But it's powerful. Everybody that has read it has just so much powerful takeaways that they have gleaned from his book, and how knowledgeable and how helpful it has, and how it has put them on a path to just really taking their power back, which is important nowadays, in this world that we live, that everything is so easy, and we don't want to do the work to really help ourselves become better. We want to be spoon fed. But his work that I have tuned into, he really teaches people how to really go back into self and take their power back and learn and do their own research. He will share information, but he's encouraging us to actually go and dig deep. Don't take his word for it. Go dig deep. And that's so powerful in this day and age that we're currently in, where information is so rapidly changing, and it is, just shooting at us from every angle. So that is what I am definitely in alignment with, and I'm sure many of you as well. So this is going to be an exciting show. I'm excited. I know you guys are. And while we're waiting for them to come online, share where you guys are tuning in from. As you all know, I'm tuning in from Jamaica. What part of the world is everyone tuning in from? Let me see if I can see the chat. Let me see if I can see the chat.
Okay, he's getting ready to come on right now.
Okay.
Dallas is in the building. Dallas is in the building. They said
Yes.
Jersey is in the building. Big up to Sister Cafunia in the building. As a matter of fact, let me Jersey City. Cafunia is in Jersey City also.
Dallas, Jersey. Yes.
Let me
Los
just
Angeles. Mm-hmm.
remind people that he's going to be in Nicholas, Brooklyn on of course on the 27th and the 28th of April. 2 days. too much, too a lot of information, But big up also people coming in, calling in from Los Angeles County, Mississippi in the building. Of course, Montgomery, Alabama, tuning in from Kingston, Jamaica. Wagwan.
Jamaica, yes.
Sunrise. All right. PA is in the building. So yeah, yeah. Make sure y'all share. The brother's gonna come on momentarily. He was just
Yes,
having a little problem because he's not really near a computer where he have YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So he's been part of that dozen, man, but still, gosh. And we're not gonna go down those roads of too much of the Jabberwocky because we know these people are still sensitive on their platform. It's not our platform per se, but he has so a plethora of things to speak about. We can go down those roads. After I've read his bio and going through his bio, and I have it in the background here, I'm one of those radio personalities and TV personalities that can touch on anywhere I want to go with it once I see a bio. You know what I'm saying? We could
and
formulate a
before we begin, you guys, please like this, share it out to
yes.
your community because this is potent information. Share, share, share. Comment. That helps us to get the algorithm to show this content out to more people. So please like, share, subscribe, comment, and also go follow my page, Kerryanningram. We are a beautiful community. So sharing is caring. Woohoo!
And let me big up people from Diamond 8 is on Instagram. Atlanta, GA is in Portland, Oregon. Timothy is in Atlanta also. A lot of people are still hitting us up. Make sure y'all share. Rizza is about to come on. We're still trying to figure out how to get him on because he was he's somewhere, he's somewhere doing something. He's doing something. He's always doing something. And I like that, especially being born under that frequency of that 17. They're going to be doing some work. They got
Right.
work to do. So hopefully hopefully he can get on and we can, and we don't have to go through no audio check, So, I'm one of those people. I start adapting real quick.
As your shirt
Okay.
says,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
all good.
It's all good. I think I see him coming up in the background slowly. I see my brother coming up in the background. He's fit and trim and ready to do his thing. I know how he gets down. I think he's in the background. I can see you, brother. We coming to bring you up if you get clean it every day. Yeah, he's doing his thing. Want to make sure. Again, family, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Be respectful to the comments. I don't tolerate bull crap. That's one thing I don't do. Me not in a that. We're not in
None
at
of
the
that.
crap.
This is a space of positivity, love, and support.
That's right. That's right. So I see my brother. He getting self prepared. I want to make sure he all right. He looked like he doing his thing. Got his old bookshelf behind him, his old collection behind him. He's still cleaning up here. I see him. I see him. Can you hear us? Shake your head, brother. Can you hear us? All right. You can see. Obviously, he can hear us. First and foremost, this is the first time on my platform. That's not the first time I met the brother. He's not only a great author of that message to the millennials, but he's a speaker on multitude of topics and issues like mental health, prison industry, industrial complex, environmental health, literacy, and so much more. And of course, you could always go to his website. You go to the 1-800 number and hit the team up at 1-800 466-2205. The email is right there also. And the website is right here at rizzaislam.com or intellectualones.org. I see he had to go to the background. I think he's there. He's in and out. So let's make sure he's all right. I see him. You got to unmute yourself, brother, before we bring you on. Unmute yourself. All right, then, without further ado, we want to welcome the first time right here on King Simon Presents Only Quality People on the Healing Vibe Show with myself and Kerryanningram, the one, the only, brother Rizza Islam in the building. Let's give him a round of applause.
Peace. How's everybody doing?
Everybody's good. You're going in and out. You all right? What's happening? You in and out?
Yes. The audio's good. Is it choppy?
It's getting choppy. It's kind of choppy, my brother.
Interesting.
I know. Right?
This is this what happens when I get viewed on YouTube. That's really how it goes. So you know.
Well, we're gonna have to play with it. We're gonna have to play with it and have some fun. Yeah, he's stopping on and off. He's on and off stopping. So, Okay, family, we got our great one here, man. We got the brother here, man. Man, first and foremost, if you could hear me, I'm glad you could hear us. Myself, I got Sister Kerry Ann from out of Toronto. Give her a salute. She's here in the building.
Our sister, peace. How are you?
Please, I'm well, thank you. Yourself?
I'm very well, very well. Does it sound better now? Is it more
It
clear?
does.
It sounds better. It's just that the visuals are going in and out, but I can still hear you.
Understood. Definitely
But
honored to be on. Good to see both of you. Absolutely. And I appreciate the beautiful work that both of you do.
Yes,
So
sir.
this is overdue, my brother. I think the last time we saw each other was in Atlanta, Georgia, when I did a presentation there. So yes,
Right.
sir.
And I was interviewing Vicky Dillard at that time. Remember, I was in the other room. I just interviewed Vicky Dillard, and I showed you. Okay, I brought you to Vicky.
Yes, sir.
Well, there's so much going on, big brother. There's so much going on, little brother. You're younger than me, so.
That's right.
First and foremost, man, congratulations on the new product that you got. I'm about to order that myself because I said I got to go get that brain product, man. That's good for the brains and everything else. So, and I see the guys that you're dealing with in the Caribbean and certain other places. I said, okay, I know he's really about this research.
Yes, sir.
And the important part, because the topic is the message to the millennials, let the millennials know how important it is our health, taking care of our health. Because if you don't take care of your health, you can't take care of nothing else. Please.
No, that is an actual fact. And the main thing is to be, very honest, beloved. I don't think we really get the idea of exactly where we are when it comes to how negative our health truly is in all ways, our spiritual health, mental health, and of course, economic, agricultural, and all other areas. We are not doing as good as we think. So I got to a point to where I said just the education is one thing. We're scholars at the education. We know the problems inside, out, and backwards. We know the history. We know the science. We can go into every part of this thing. But now we have to come up with more tangible physical solutions. So the schools, the grocery stores, the airports, all of these things we've heard time and time again, we have to get physical things that help the people with their condition. So our health is not as good as we think. That's my biggest issue.
Right.
So we have to focus a lot more on.
But and that's interesting because I grew up at 14 receiving the 5% Nation of Islam banks of books, of course, the Gods and the Earth, big up to the Gods and Earth. And it was the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's book, How to Eat to Live, which was the most important factor of my growing up, by me saying I'm going to stop eating pork and stop eating this. Yeah, I know you got it. Don't drop it now. Don't drop it.
Got them both, brother. Got them both.
And I have the hardcover because of my age, of course. I have the hardcover, but I'm not in my house in my office right now. I'm in New York visiting my mother for her birthday and everything, so I'm here. But that How to Eat to Live was such an important part of my development, and most of us that are 57 and younger now. I'm 57 and still vibrant and still training martial arts and all the stuff that we was taught in those communities. So I like what you're doing. I see what you're doing out there with the workout and all that. How important was that book, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's book on How to Eat to Live, part 1 and part 2? Please, to you.
The biggest part I would say is the simplicity of how he made it real when it comes to the solutions on how to take your health with basic foods, fruits, and vegetables. Real basic. Right. He didn't have to go into all of the heavy scientific mathematics on it, the different chromosomes of this, eating by blood type, this and that. And that. He didn't have to do all that. He said there are basic fruits and vegetables that you should eat. Fasting is prescribed because of this. How it helps to alleviate the body of 90% roughly of all of the ailments if you fast for a protracted period of time, for the best water, the best times to eat, etc. Real basic things. And my family, of course, was raised on the teachings when it comes to that as well. So we were raised vegetarian. We were eating fruits and vegetables. We knew about fasting and we practiced that. And we didn't have, as I said, we didn't have meat, and we stayed away from, I would say, the majority of processed foods. And every now and then we try to sneak some cookies or something from the liquor store. All right, but other than that, we knew. I mean, for real. Which is why, up to this very moment, my stepfather, he is 74, and he looks like he's in his 50s. Because he practices the basic tenets and principles of how to eat to live. So it's very simple. And now, what's interesting is the scientists of today, the doctors of today, the medical doctors, the entire fitness world are all now confessing that fasting does this and that. They're calling it intermittent fasting, as you already know. It is one of the best things for fat burning, one of the best things to rebuild brain cells and overall cellular redevelopment. All of this stuff, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was saying this a long time ago with a 4th grade education. So,
exactly,
it's very, very basic, brother. It is extremely important. So I think we have to go back to the basics. Very simple. Get back to the basics and then go back to graduating into higher states of consciousness. But we have left the basics out, brother. We all in the stratosphere, and we have high blood pressure down here. So we have to get back to reality of the basics.
No balance. Well, my dear Kerry Ann from out of Toronto is so enamored with you, man, for what you did for her. I want her to get off with her questions, man. Please, Kerry, you can share your love. You know how it is.
Thank you. I know this is your life's work. I know you're called for this, but truly for us out here who were looking for support, looking for an anchor during the time, the time in the past, you have been such a pillar. So thank you for that. And thank you for being relentless and creating a zillion and one channel so that we could continue.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's get that a round of applause. Just for that.
But I wanted to touch on, because you wrote about a message to the millennials, and even how you spelled millennials is very unique. I want you to touch on that. And also, if I could squeeze another question in, there are so many issues with psychotropic drugs that are affecting our youth right now. And they're, it's coming from on the ground, it's coming from outside, from the sky, it's coming from everywhere. So I want you to share how we, the millennials, can enhance themselves, to get around all of the attacks that are coming at them from every angle.
Absolutely. Well, the first thing I'll say to answer your first question is, and I want to make sure I reference things as our brother King Simon knows, not old school, but just being true to research and references. I want to make sure this gets very, very, correctly.
Let me throw it in the front. Please. Yes. That's
very correct as a reference. This book here was inspired by this book here. All right, to make that clear. The spiritual tenets, the spiritual understanding and principles happening in the world based on the Bible, the Holy Quran, the scientific teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as it pertains to history, mathematics, and everything happening. That is this book. And this one, I looked at what he was saying here, and I wanted to put in the modern circumstance of what is taking place through technology, social media. You can say the slave system dealing with the court system, understanding maritime law and all of those things, and then all the other pieces together for the modern language, our generation. Understand that it's not only still relevant, but what's relevant will look at what is taking place in the present that you can communicate and understand between generations. Okay, that's the first point. The second thing is I spelled this, like you said, intentionally this way. Because some people said, does he know he spelled millennial wrong? I said, no, don't, please give your brother some grace. Now, I mean, really, no, I just spelled it incorrectly. This was spelled specifically to point at what a millennial is, not being those who were born between, you can say, 1985 or 2000 or 1985, but specifically going to the language of Latin language.
You're breaking up.
Strongest within 1,000 of an entire generation of people. So in a millennial mentality, I made it more universal for those who are fighting against evil and wickedness, for those who are fighting against poverty, for those who are fighting against injustice, for those who are fighting against all of the evil and wickedness that's being perpetuated by the system. You can be 50 years old and have a millennial mentality if you are fighting against the system. So I wanted to make it all inclusive for the mentality, not just the generation. Okay, that's why I spelled it that way. And I actually wrote that down in chapter 1 of this book as well. And I also put in there who coined the term millennial, which were two Caucasian males also as an overall reference point. So it's dealing with those mentality of who are striving to fight evil and wickedness is what classifies them as this spelling of a millennial.
Mm. Powerful, 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 man. I mean, you know what? See, you're quite intentional when you do things like that, and that is a blessing. You got to be. And you know what's so funny? The most honorable Elijah Muhammad was intentional with what he did. Also, when I read his book, and of course, being in the Nation of Islam, especially under the minister, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and Dr. Khalid at the same time, it was phenomenal because it was a lot of energy, a lot of power going on. It was just like Malcolm and the Messenger. There was a lot of power during the times when that I was there. So and with the millennials, what do you see? What do you see? Where do you see the future of these millennials now, especially our younger folks now, going forward in the next 30 to 40 years, if they don't pay attention and heed the call to the message that not only you and many others have to offer?
Powerful.
First thing is things are moving faster now than they have ever moved due to our ability to see everything in real time. This here, brother, now you know, Brother King Simon, if this was in the 80s or the 70s, a whole lot of stuff would have either stopped or moved a lot faster. Either way. But this here is it is a game changer. So you're able to see everything in real time all over the world, which means you can either fight against it or build it up. You can perpetuate it. You can maneuver it. You can accept it. You can reject it. All kinds of things taking place all at once. So if our generation doesn't pay attention, we will make the same mistakes of the generation prior to us, but we will make them faster.
That's right.
And vice versa, we will either, if that's on the negative, on the positive end, we will make the successful moves and actions, but we'll make them faster. Hence why in our generation, and you can say the next generation that is between the age of 15 and 25, they're becoming millionaires through drop shipping and through different digital platforms. They're millionaires right now, 15-year-old millionaires, 16-year-old millionaires with apps on this thing because they looked at what is taking place now and they're utilizing it right now because they see exactly how it's able to be utilized, pushed on, etc. So they're doing that. We couldn't do that. You can say in the early 90s or back in the 80s and 70s, that this was not possible like this.
That's right. That's right.
So everything, I would just say everything is in hyperdrive, whether if it's positive or negative. So we will not be able to make the same mistakes of our elders and get away with it and have all the time to learn from it, gain some wisdom, reflect. No, the work that we're doing now on the good side or bad side is going to manifest much faster. That is the biggest thing that I will say when it comes to our generation if we don't pay attention.
Man, family, those that are just tuning in, we have the one, the only Rizza Islam in the mother flipping building. And he is our guest. He is the author of Message to the Millennials. Of course, he speaks on a multitude of topics, of course. If you go to his website, he breaks down all of the stuff that's going on. But I want to let people know also that you will be in Nicholas, Brooklyn. That's right, Nicholas, Brooklyn on the 27th and the 28th. And the link to that event, right, is on this on the chat right now. So if you want to pay for your tickets to be there for the 2 days that he will be there. I'm in New York right now. I just finished dealing with Dr. Sabi's wife and Lloyd Strayhorn. So we had a good 2 days. I know your days are going to be packed out, of course, because those 2 days, April 27th and April 28th, and not only in Nicholas, but at the world famous Restoration Plaza. Believe me, y'all want to be in the building when he gets in the house, sign his books and do his thing. And I want to say I'm proud of you. How's your wife doing? I did get to meet your beautiful Empress, your wife. How's she doing? How's everything doing on that side? Man, it was beautiful,
strong and powerful. As it should.
Yeah, beautiful, man. And they two tall, strong people too, and I love it. It's my brother. He doing his thing, And you said something about everything moving fast when the messenger used to teach us to be quick moving, fast thinking back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And to the modern day and time, we had to be that. We was wearing suit, bow ties, we was stepping fast, pop, pop, pop. Even our martial arts, even when you attack us, what happened in the street with that brother in Georgia, it would have been a quick delivery, 3 minutes, because three seconds was Dr. Moses Powell always taught us to eliminate something 3 seconds. There ain't no continue beating down. Once you take them down and lock them up, that's it. Call the cops and let's keep it moving. And look around, watch your back. You're not supposed to be down there like this. You're supposed to watch your back. No, respect to the brother. He defended himself. But we got to get back into the jujitsu of it so we can lock him, keep it moving, no extra punches. We don't want to look like the thugs on the street. We want to keep it in control. That's how important it was for us to train every day in the nation. You know what I'm saying? And in our suits sometimes, in our suits and ties. We used to be trained. We was trained to fight against dogs, dog attacks. People keep on forgetting what we came down with. So I think now a lot of the millennials or younger people are not they stand in front of their phones and but they're not in the dojos like we used to be, or in the basements, let's say basements, in a 45-minute horse stance and doing 1,000 kicks and throws and all kinds of stuff. They not there with us when we back in the day. So that's why I try not to get into any fights. I don't get into any arguments, because our job in the nation, we was taught to get home safely. Get home safely to your family. That's it. That was the main objective. And Allahu Akbar. When Allahu Akbar is bellowed out, that's it. Mm-hmm. We turn over the whole. I was there when they attacked the mosque in New York in '92. I was there.
Oh,
exactly.
Oh,
Khalid was there.
I was 2 years old, but y'all was getting busy.
And that police officer got taken down quick. That police officer got taken quick. No, one thing we were taught to remove, their weapons and their communications first. And that's what happened.
Yes. That's military training. That's basic training.
Military training.
You know what? I have to just mention something on that, because again, you mentioned dealing with the exercising. And let me know if the connection is good now, or
we can still hear you. Go ahead. We can still hear you. Yeah, we're still having it. We're up and down, but we can still hear you.
I know.
Got you. Okay, I'll make sure to get that situated. But this generation, something I've noticed is not only is there virtually no training, and I'm not really inside the nation. I'm referring to just in general our generation, because that's what we're talking about. There's not that much training. There is constant phone right here all day long, and people don't have the mentality that danger will ever hit them. They don't have the mentality. They are so stuck in this virtual realm that they think nothing negative will ever happen to them. Nothing negative will ever happen to my family. Danger will never be in my neighborhood. I'm all good. Everything is okay. We have a sense of security nor a sense of discipline overall for our generation. We have a sense of discipline in the wrong areas. All right. We are disciplined when it comes to being petty. If I'm petty, I am dedicated to being petty. Right. Or if I don't like this, or if I don't like that, I'm dedicated to voice my opinion. Or if I want to be right, or just steal or rob, I'm dedicated to the wrong things, is my point. And at this circumstance, I was watching a video, I believe it was President John F. Kennedy, where he was talking about the younger generation at the time. And he said, this is why we have implemented programs for training across the United States. And they said on average, the teenager in high school must know, I believe, must be able to do at least 16 push-ups, 10 pull-ups, must be able to run a mile in a short period of time. They had this military type of training in the entire schooling system, just in case war would break out and they would have to recruit or draft.
Right.
So I agree with the training implementation, maybe not to go and fight for this system war, but the discipline and the training and exercise is extremely important. And that's something we're now leading in obesity. We're leading in high blood pressure. We're leading in asthma. We're leading in all of these different physical ailments that we never had, at a certain age. So it's very sad, I would say, at this point. So the training is something that is essential that we need to fall back into. We have to get used to training, exercising, martial arts, boxing, self-defense. We have to get back into that and make it a normal thing. Right. It has to become normal.
Right. Especially in this day and time. And, and I'm going to give it over to you, Kerryann. There was an incident that happened, and thanks to the training of the Nation of Islam and all of the forms of Islam that I even studied in the past, but definitely the Nation of Islam, is that I was walking up the street one time, and I just got the headphones connected to my phone. And but I was taught you put it in one ear and keep the other one
That's right.
loose. I'm not. We
Yes.
listen. I got attacked by 3 guys.
Oh wow.
From the back, hit me down, but I was able to spin out from the ground and get back up and fight them off. But they ran when they realized that I recovered so quickly because I was training anyway. You know what I'm saying? I recovered from the hit because if you don't know how to take a hit, that's what the problem is. So they were surprised that I was able to recover so fastly right here in Brooklyn around Vanderveer Project. Those who know Vanderveer and Flatbush, Brooklyn, I was right there. So that's where these guys ran off when they seen my recovery time was like the spin out, the leg spin from the ground. I came out and I came right up, and that wave, that windmill kick from the ground, it waved them off, and they realized I was up on my feet that quick, ready to fight them. And they ran off, and I chased them down, and then they disappeared. But I just wasn't going to run all the way into Vanderveer Project. I didn't feel like doing that. But this, I was probably like 45 years old at that time. I was 45 at that time. So that's
soldier training, brother.
I was working out, training. It's so important, bro. So I hope these younger brothers and sisters get off of the couch, get off and run in front of those games, and get on at least do some Tai Chi or defensive Tai Chi or Qigong or something. Learn something, because you got survival Tai Chi and you got the calming Tai Chi. Learn it all. Learn how to do it all, even if it's just slow. But go ahead, Sister Kerry. I was just ranting.
No, really valid and powerful points.
Yes.
I'm looking at the big picture, and you guys are absolutely correct. We need to train. We need to have self-defense, especially women, because I did judo when I was younger, and it still stuck with me. It is still here. I still can use, the maneuvers that I learned. I can break my fall if I'm thrown, It's still there. So, I'm looking at the whole picture, and you mentioned, Brother Rizza, that, there's so much diseases that are coming up that are not norm. They're just rampant right now. So I feel, I could be wrong, but I feel that there's an agenda on the younger population to keep them in a state of distraction, in a state of docileness, in a state of just disconnectedness from themselves and from the world on a whole, the real world. So correct me if I'm wrong. Is this a true analyzing viewpoint?
It is. Everything you said is not only factual. Of course, we know when it comes to government documentations, let's start with the depopulation agenda of Dr. Henry Kissinger, who was the 32nd Secretary of State under President Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford. Start with that. Then you must go over to Global 2000 under President Jimmy Carter. Then underneath that, the advisor to President Jimmy Carter is Zbigniew Brzezinski, not only in his book titled The Grand Chessboard, but he also made an open state address when he was meeting with a number of officials, where he stated, quote, "In earlier times, it was easier to control 1 million people than to physically kill 1 million people. But in today's time, it is infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than it is to control." End quote. So I gave you just 3 reference points from the government documentation and officials themselves. That's the first thing, so that people can't say this is conspiracy theory, this is nonsense. No, it is absolutely right and exact fact. This is the point. So when you know that that's what your enemy is saying, okay, that's what they're saying about you, okay, then you can project what they're going to do in all the areas that control human life. That includes food. It starts with religion. Let's go up there first. They will go into finding ways to infiltrate your religious systems and or ideologies. So whether if you call yourself a Muslim or Christian, if you say you're a Jew, if you say you are of the Baha'i faith, the Rastafari, if you say you're a Moor, a Hebrew Israelite, you can say any of these labels, that's fine. They have found ways to infiltrate all of these, to poison it. All right, that's religion. Then they go down to psychology. And I know you want to go into this on a different side of the topic than with psychology, but they go into that, dealing with poisoning the mind so that people in society can attack one another based off of what they think and how they disagree, what labels they cling to, and how we want to divide from each other, et cetera, et cetera. Then you go down, you look at the schooling and education, how they infect everything that we study and learn and indoctrinate and propagate, not educate. Indoctrinate our children against the parents, push propaganda onto the children so that the children can fight against the parents. Then you go down from there, you go into agriculture and food. Now you have all the poisons in these different foods. You have Bill Gates, who this demon bastard himself is the incarnate of evil and wickedness. He's not the only one, but he's one of them. Him, along with a laundry list of other people who own over 200,000 acres of land in America, where you have California producing over 30% of America's cabbage, over 20% of America's almonds, over 15% of America's strawberries, and all of these are heavily genetically modified. Again, so I'm going to layers here of all this because you said your analysis right and exact. Is it valid? It is not only valid, but we have known about this for so long to where we quite literally have no excuse when it comes to why the hell we are still in this condition and we are not doing things for ourselves. We have no excuse. We've known about it far too long. We have heard too many elders, too many leaders, too many scholars say the same things over and over again. And for some reason, we are comfortable and reliant on the system. We grow our own food the way we should because you have a number of people who are. We don't want to establish our own banks the way we should, even though some people are doing some things in that regard. We don't want to establish our own military and our own, again, schools or commerce with other nations, right? We have to separate from the system. We have to. We are not going to be able to live and be successful under this wicked system. It's not going to happen that way. So we have to get out of it piece by piece.
Right. And, brother, there was an article or somebody that said that the problem for Israel is young Black people. There's a statement that was put out there. I don't know who said it, but I don't know if you could clarify that. But I know it was sent to me past my desk about that. And when you put that type of stuff out there as a propaganda tool, it gets dangerous for these young Black folks out here, as you know, my brother.
Yes, I'll mention this. That was an Israeli official.
Yes,
that one was an Israeli official. Her name escapes me, but it was a female Israeli official who made that statement, which, by the way, she verbalized what they have already put into policy because they train a large percentage of United States federal officers. So the idea for the Israeli Defense Force trains a large number of military and domestic police in the United States. A lot of them train the LAPD, they train the NYPD, they train the PD over in Florida, they train them over in Atlanta. A lot of them are literally trained by Israeli military, which means you're talking about domestic officers who are supposed to serve and protect. Instead of serving and protecting, they are activating Krav Maga techniques on citizens. Yes. They're supposed to ask for your ticket. You see them bending people all the way over, pushing their neck instead of, illegal chokeholds, which are Israeli Krav Maga tactics. And if anyone doesn't know what Krav Maga is, I know y'all know.
Israeli martial. I've been taking some of that lately too. So
brother, it is cold. So for her to make that statement was just her verbalizing what they have already been putting into policy and domestic terrorist activity. So she just said what the hell they've already been doing. But we need to get that through our heads that, again, when somebody says, well, there are good police officers out here, the problem is the good ones don't speak out against the bad ones, if that's the case. Not enough of the so-called good ones speak out against the mass of bad ones. And because of that, we don't know who is who. And because we don't know who is who, we should trust ourselves, arm as far as training, mentally and physically training ourselves for any type of situation. This is the biggest thing we got to get through our head. Again, as our brother Sam was saying, and as our sister was saying, self-defense and discipline is a necessity. You have to have it. I mean, seriously, and everybody wants to rely on a gun. You want to just rely on a gun. Okay, if that's one of the weapons you want to have, okay, that's your choice. But what if you can't get to it? You think a person who is going to attack you is going to wait until you have your gun and then say, I'm going to attack you because now you got your gun on you? That's how this thing goes. You have to be trained. Exactly. You got to be trained, y'all. So that, brother, again, is a very big, serious thing that people need to know. And I will raise this as a point of reference for everyone to look at. This is a book that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan mentioned at Savior's Day recently. This book is titled Rise and Kill First.
Yes. Yes.
Rise and Kill First. This is the list, a book that chronicles the assassination list on behalf of the Israeli government. A list of their targeted assassinations and a lot of their tactics dealing with how they have assassinated different people, different leaders. And then to add on to that really quick as another point of reference, you have something called the Palestine Laboratory, which goes over their biochemical warfare, their government espionage type of tactics on how they displace governments, how they abuse people in different ways, and how they train other governments on how they have been doing it based off of what they have been doing to the Palestinians. These are two very critical pieces of material that everyone should get as reference points, so you know the dirty secrets that they have been hiding. All right. So I hope I didn't kind of overload with all that, but all of that was relevant to what you said.
No, that was important. That was important that you dropped that and really shared that wisdom from that perspective, you know. And go ahead, Sister Kerry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, this is a Healing Vibe show. So
yes, let's heal it.
We'll get back to it. That's right. Come on.
Well, how can we, you know, the collective, you know, which includes the millennials, the Gen Xers, the boomers, all of us, you know, how can we utilize the new, how can we orchestrate ourselves in a new way to really change the narrative and really heal our generational traumas that we're taking forward into this new, you know, paradigm shift, so to speak?
Very good question. The first thing is, I will say respectfully, the elders have to be honest with those who came after them. So the elders must be honest with all the generations that have come from them about what they did, about what they failed to do, about certain actions that could have been done, that they failed in certain areas, they thought they did good enough, etc. Because what we're dealing with now is in large part due to what the previous generations did not do or did do. So it has to be a deep-seated accountability across the board. Then this generation has to be honest and, I would say, step back in humility to reassess our respect for our elders, because a lot of our generation does not respect them. And although we can pretend and try to act as if, well, they should know better, they older than me. And okay, no. You don't know what they went through. There are so many things that the generations before ours have gone through. And yeah, we all go through different things, but you did not go through the crack circumstance. Okay, you didn't go through the heroin circumstance. You didn't go through. There are so many layers that snatched a chunk of our fathers, snatched a chunk of our mothers, destroyed our families, displaced anything dealing with the semblance of Black power or the melanin understanding or the cultivation of family. It was ripped apart. So we have to come together and be honest on both sides, respectful on both sides, and humble on both sides, and say, look, I love you. Teach me what you need to teach me. I'm going to learn and listen. And the elders should do the same for the younger generation, because there's a lot that we know that the elders are like, how do you even work this thing? There's a lot we teach each other. So I think
I'm currently training my family, you know, right now. And my mother's annoying me because she's like, Kerry-Ann, how do you work this? What's this again? You know, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's so simple. But you're absolutely correct.
And you know, when you saying that, you know, we was taught, you know, the meaning of the FOI, you know, the military men of in North America, that, you know, that of course came to infiltrate, go behind enemy lines. But they don't realize, the young people don't realize that the enemy also goes behind enemy lines to control. It's a duality, using all of these apparatuses and getting into the mind. Right. And that's why I tell people when I do my numerovation or numerology, show them the signs of numbers. I said, every one of your 3 M's that controls our minds, media, music, and movies, are those that's led by the mental health number 4. That letter M in Pythagoras and the Chaldean system, which are the melanated people of that time that Pythagoras got it from, all leads by the number 4. In my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability, number 4 is the primary number of mental health. And if you don't mind your mind, you will lose your mind. In my book.
Come on.
And I tell people, so if you understand the mathematics, not just from the 5% nation and what we was taught in Supreme Wisdom and Supreme Sense, but also from what Pythagoras stole from us, you know what I'm saying, and brought it to fruition. So we got to be careful what we're using with these computers and these technologies as they watching all kinds of movies and medias and everything on there. And like you said earlier, we're getting to that fast pace when we used to get it back in the day, 2 weeks. We hear about the war here. You know, I went to Erasmus in Brooklyn, and Shaggy and I, a reggae artist. So in 1985, when he joined into that, I went into the 5% and all that kind of stuff, and the Ansars and then the Nation of Islam. But he told me, he said they threw people in the war, and most of them started crying because they was thrown unprepared. Back in 1985, when they was fighting, I think it was Iraq or Iran. One of them they was fighting again. They always fighting. So he told me that back in the day, and I was like, damn, bro. And that's what a lot of these young people don't realize, that we got to remember. In the Bible, it used to say that old men and old people are for counsel, and the young people are for war. Correct. We got a vice versa. Sometimes older men can still fight and do their thing. You know, older women can still fight. So how do we bring the two together so they can meet on even ground, so we can start having the dialogue and the work ethics to make things happen in this day and time, from your perspective?
First thing we have to do is get off of social media, get back to physical reality. That's the first thing we have to do, brother. I can't tell you how often I see some of the younger brothers or sisters who talk with so much bass in their voice, so much bravado in their chest, because of what they think are followers on here, or the digital world that they have accomplished. They have accomplishments in this thing, but then in physical reality, grandpa built houses with his bare hands. Grandma could sew the whole outfit that you just paid $500 for. She could grab the material for less than $15 and put it all together, full pattern, sew it and everything. And you would be like, oh my God, grandma did that. Yes. So I think we should humble ourselves when it comes to who is really doing what, when it comes to legitimate substance, right? When it comes to the work. That's the first thing. We have to humble ourselves by getting off of social media and getting back to physical reality. This is why when a lot of the younger generation, they go to a farm for first time, they like, dang, because you snatching somebody off of this, like you said, they were uncomfortable being tossed into war. They like, what the heck is going on? Like, so I gotta do this and like, come on now, you about to get your hands dirty. Come on, let's go. We're about to put some work in. And they're like, I'm not ready for that. Yeah, because you thought this was getting your muscle built. No, you gotta get dirty. Come on. That's the biggest thing I will say, which you won't have to do as much talking, because the reality will hit a person once they realize there are things that they literally cannot do, that the elders who they look down on or who they laugh at, because now they got millions of dollars at 17, 18, 19, and 20, but your elders, you like, well, y'all, man, you broke. It's like, well, wait now, hold on. Don't, hey, okay, I'm proud of you, but don't get it twisted. Your life is easier because of the difficulty that the elders have gone through. They laid the groundwork, the foundation, they put the hard work in so that we can make money on this here and be at home making money, doing nothing in the physical realm for the most part. So that's the first thing I'll say, is get off of social media and get back to physical reality. The biggest thing that a lot of people, I would say, brother, don't know about a lot of our soldiers, warriors, fighters, scholars, and leaders. I'll just say, for example, let's say the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam is an economy at the height of the 60s was in the realm of somewhere around 80 to $85 million.
That's right.
Okay, that was just the Nation of Islam's economy, with the businesses, with the schools, with the international trade and commerce, and all of everything, just the internal economy. Okay, that's the first thing. So that brings a whole new level of respect to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because he built industry. Okay, then you go back and you look at, well, wait a minute, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, who had the UNIA, he had the Black Star Line, he had ships, he had businesses, he had all kinds of industry. You're talking about people, men who created jobs and stability and built things for family. Okay, now you're thinking, wait a minute, they did all that, and there was no such thing as Facebook or Instagram to post on.
Exactly. It
didn't exist. There wasn't TikToking. There were no hashtags.
TikTok.
It was doing other stuff. It didn't exist. It only had, they could only rely on physical, tangible work and results. There was nothing else. You see what I'm saying? So it's a perspective that we have to give people now by having them look at the reality of what was built. And then they can say, okay, it's a different level of respect. It's sad that we have to do it that way, but we have to.
Right.
Yeah, man. Oh, go ahead, sister. Rizza's on it. Our family, if you do want to get in contact, schedule Brother Rizza for events, films, and community projects, contact the Intellectual Extremist Team, 1-800-466-2205, or email them at the ixllcbookings@gmail.com. Come on now, support the brother. Bring him in any way you can. I'm glad what Nicholas is doing. Remember, the link to the Nicholas event is posted right on the chat, at the top of the chat. And let me show that flyer, because the 27th and the 28th is never going to be the same in Brooklyn. And I want them to take you over to Moshood, one of the greatest African designers right there. That's right there on Restoration Plaza. I hope Monique can introduce you to him. He's an older elder right now, but he's still one of the brothers that provided great clothing for Dr. Khaled back in the day, for Maxie Priest, for Isaac Hayes. He's right there next to us. So you need to go and salute that elder brother and just give him some love, man. Every time I go over to Nicholas, I'm always go to that elder and go put my hand on the floor and say, Baba, he's from Nigeria. I said, Baba, because he helped me 30 years ago by recognizing our ancient African self in our clothing, Moshood. So if you get a chance, Khalid loved him. Khalid used to go to his fashion shows back in the day, all the way from LA. He'll come to Georgia, he'll come to New York, and always be at a fashion show. I used to be one of the MCs for the fashion show. So, I knew that, and I knew the thing. So, brother, I hope you get to visit the Black businesses that are still holding on for 30 years. Nicholas is celebrating 50 years, and I've been supporting them since 1985.
Wow.
Shout out to Nicholas, man. And not only will I beloved, but I will support, not just my words, but I'm bringing some financial support. Another reason why I do these events at Black-owned locations, and I'm currently on tour. Every venue that I go to, I strive to have a Black-owned venue. I want to bring the economic empowerment to these venues so that we can hold on to them. We can't say we should have our own things and then we don't support our own things. Exactly. We can't do that. Exactly. It's not just a prayer. No funds, money to those venues. These are businesses, and we should treat them the same way we treat all these other non-Black owned, non-melanated businesses. We should do the same exact thing.
Yes.
Exactly. Go ahead, Sister Kerry.
When are you coming to Toronto?
Good job.
You know what? Oh man, Toronto, or how did you guys say Toronto? Is that how you say it up there?
Toronto.
Man, look, I have wanted. I actually spoke with a good brother of mine because we are planning that as one of the stops.
Okay.
And I think he said Toronto and
Montreal.
Which area? Montreal. You already know, brother. Well, which area has the most melanated folks? That's what I want to know.
Toronto definitely. Montreal is there too.
Toronto, Montreal, but next to Toronto, it would probably be Nova Scotia.
Yeah. I used to live in Montreal. I brought Dr. Khalid to Montreal. If you go on Khalid in Montreal, Canada, that was my team that brought him to Montreal back in 1993.
Wow.
And it was packed out 2 days. 2 days.
I believe it. Brother, Canada don't get that kind of melanated power of love up in there. Not like
we don't.
Yeah. So I want to come there soon. To answer your question, I want to come there soon. And I'm working with, I know my brother Akeem Pierre, my good brother from Rich Soul Foods. So we're going to do something up there, very soon. I told him, I said, I want to get up there within the next couple months, preferably.
Okay.
Yes. Your passport is good, because I know how these people have been trying to bother you, brother. Everything cool.
Yeah, you already know, but it's good. Yeah, it's all good, but still, You know.
I personally was banned out of Canada because of Khaled back in the day, so I know what it
Ooh.
was. Because he was,
Ooh.
remember, he was going there. The Jews didn't want him. Everybody didn't want him up there. And then when they came to try to take him, me and my other FY brothers out there, because I helped start the study group to rehash the study group in Montreal back in those days. They tried to take him, and me and the other FY was saying, he ain't going nowhere with you. That's just, and we, you know, my little short self, I'm like 5'6", like my little short self. Another brother was my shoulder con teacher, Michael McNair. Big up to him, Michael X at that time. You know, we wasn't letting him go. It was only two of us and two of them, and we was getting it. And Khalid said, "Well, these men ain't gonna let me go."
Come on now.
And I'm definitely, and then he said, "I'm definitely not going with you."
Come on now. I love it.
Khalid was that dude, man.
Awesome.
I'm definitely excited. I'm excited. Yeah. Hopefully they'll approve me to come in, and I'm only saying that because of, you know, I'm still on this. I don't want to get to it, but you know, the White House watch list and all that dealing with.
Are you really?
Oh yes. Oh
exactly.
Yes.
That's why I asked the question. That's why I asked you the question. That's why I asked the question.
Oh yeah. So I'm on the Well, since we're going there, let me go, my brother. I'm gonna go ahead and go there. So we are on the White House watch list, just to give you an idea of how real this thing can get. The White House watch list, called the Disinformation Dozen. Myself, along with current presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and 10 others are on that list. Then I'm on the Christian Northrup, Rashid Battar, may Allah be pleased, he passed recently, and the rest of them are on there. I'm also on the Atlanta Department of Homeland Security list. I'm also on the FBI list. I think I'm on about 4 or 5 lists. So, you know, it is a real thing. And as the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, Brother Khalid, and a lot of other people would say, it is an honor to our ancestors.
Yes,
it is an honor to our ancestors. So I love it.
That's why I want you to check before you go. Send the letters or call whoever, find out. I don't know. They don't go there and then all of a sudden they send you, because they made me unadmissible, stopped me in the Amtrak and sent me back by Greyhound. Pulled me off the train.
Interesting.
And took me to a secret location to go and pat me down to see if I had anything. And they sent me back on Greyhound. And that was it.
They know the most dangerous thing you have and that we have is this right here. So they're gonna send us back anyway if they can. But I don't think it'll happen. God willing, it won't.
We want you in time. I know Sister Kerry Ann will be up close and personal like when Professor James Smalls went out there. She was right there. I'm gonna be right there.
That's right.
We don't want to keep him too long. Any more questions, Sister Kerry, to give to him before we get him off and make him keep him moving?
I mean, I would keep him here all evening, but I totally respect your time. You have just given us so much, and I will speak for our audience. We're deeply grateful. Thank you so much for all that you do, and may Allah continue to bless you and protect you.
And before we end, family, let's say, of course, you can contact the 1-800 number, the email. Also, don't forget their websites that he have. As a matter of fact, before we go, I just want to show your website, my brother, so people can see you got a very beautiful website up here doing your thing and showing all the greatness that you are. There it is. It's popping right there. Look at that website, that handsome brother right there. Make sure y'all go support this brother. All the things he's been featured on all these different places. Look at that. Look at that.
You know what? Look, let me tell you this too, because somebody pointed out something, brother Simon. They said, but wait a minute. You know, he got to be a sellout because he was featured in New York Times. I said, really? No, it's not. It's not what you think. No. If you scroll back up, brother, up all the different all the mainstream platforms that you see me featured in, I would say about 98% of them, from CNN to NPR to I believe to MSNBC to all the different mainstream news platforms, it was for a negative. Okay, it's because they did not like me. It wasn't because they liked me. It was because they said Rizza Islam is one of the most dangerous voices on the planet where misinformation about the poison shots are concerned. And it turns out that everything we said turned out to be true. They did a
That part.
study. Yeah, I want to leave you with this as I would say, a healing to those who were called crazy, who were
Right.
ostracized from their family, who were
Mhm.
told you gonna get us all, killed and die because you don't take the poison, blah blah blah. 99 million people who took the shot they did a study on recently in the United Kingdom. It
Mm.
turns out that as a result of those 9 million who they did a study on who took the shot, they came out with different issues: mental issues, brain and spinal cord abnormalities,
Mm.
Guillain-Barré syndrome, Bell's palsy,
Wow.
myocarditis and pericarditis, two different forms of heart inflammation and heart swelling, encephalopathy, which is brain swelling. All of these they determined from the study on 99 million people who took the shot. So it turns out everything we said was not only an actual fact, but we were prophetically saving tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of lives. And we are now being proven to be correct. And I'm going to also mention on this point, a month ago, we did a presentation in front of the United States Supreme Court because our case against the United States government, Anthony Fauci, President Joe Biden himself, all of those who smeared our name in the mainstream media, we have a case against them dealing with the violation of the First Amendment. And it went from a lower court, it won and went up to the Supreme Court. And now they are going to determine whether or not the US government violated the freedom of speech in June. They're going to make that determination. But we just presented in front of the Supreme Court.
Man, let's get that a round of applause. Whoa, my brother, man, you ain't joking.
That's for the freedom of speech of everybody, brother. We're fighting for the freedom of speech of the over 332 million people in the United States, quote unquote. So it's a real deal. It's a very real thing, and that's why again we can't stop, because if it was just me doing me, that's one thing. But when it's us fighting for our people, we actually have no choice. We have an obligation to continue doing what we're doing.
Yes, sir. Well, brother, I am proud of you. We are proud of you, man, of all that you've done and all that you continue to do. Thank you very much for coming on. I hope you will not be a stranger to our platform. Come back on. Let's do it. Next time I bring you on, I want to talk about the product. After I get it, I want to talk about the product.
I got you, brother. Well, you'll get it. You'll get it soon.
I'm about to order mine myself. I love the cover. I love what it looks like. I love all that's going on and what the testimonials about it. I love that, and I like to keep my brain right because I like to study and I like to read and I like to keep it moving. So thank you, and thanks Sister Zakia, thanks Sister Kafunya, thank Monique and all of them. Remember, family, get to his website, get the products, get his books, get all the information you can, his YouTube channel, all of that. I'll be seeing you on Corey Holcomb's. What type of guy is that, brother? He's a good brother to me. To me, he's crazy, but he's a good brother.
He's a good brother. He's raw. He raw. He raw 85, brother. But he's a good brother.
he love you, man. He love you. He call you a good brother all the time, man. So, my brother, thank you very much, and I hope you have a great time in Brooklyn, New York, my city, and you be safe out there. All right, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you both. Appreciate it.
Assalamu alaikum, man. Watch your back. Yes, sir. That's our brother, man. We got to give him a round of applause. Man, that was a beautiful. Let me give him a round of applause here. Let me put that on there. My brother, Rizza Islam, man. He did the darn thing. Before we finish, hold on. I need to do this. I do need to do this. Hold on, my dear. I've got to play this quick. Here we go.
Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Okay. Whew, man, I forgot to play that in the beginning of the show. That's why. You want to play your stuff, I play your stuff.
Yeah.
Watch it back. But thank you very much for those
powerful information.
I know. Didn't you enjoy it?
We did.
Oh man, it was
so
beautiful brother, man. And to be so young and vibrant, he's definitely an old soul being born on that 17, that 8 energy. Both of y'all are on that 8 energy. So that old soul energy is there. Yeah. And y'all came through to do it. My life path is an 8. So I know I came through to do some stuff, bring back, use the Sankofa rogues, get from the past and move on into the future, get from the past, move on from the future to the future. And that's how we supposed to do it, those that are connected to the old soul energy. So
Absolutely.
oh man, it was beautiful, and thank you very much. Even though you're in Jamaica right now, and your Wi-Fi held up better than his, and he's in America. That's crazy. I'm just like,
what do they say? Sometimes it bees like that.
It bees like that.
Like that. But just so grateful that he was able to share his time with us and give us such powerful content. Those of you who are able to go this weekend,
yes,
please enjoy yourself, because he's an anomaly, and the information this man is able to put together, compile, it's unmatched. So you will all be duly blessed.
That's right. And I'm celebrating 29 years in promotion and production. I would love you to be in town for this 2-day, October 12th and October 13th. I'll at least have you open up for one of these events. So you let me know if you can make it, what you need, what you want to do. If you want to vend and all of that, I will definitely want to see you there. A tribute to Dick Gregory on one day, and then Ashra Kwesi and his wife the second day. So it's going to be 2 days. I'm doing it 29 years in this production. Actually, I've been doing it more than that, but professionally, it started in 1995. Kafunya knows, because I took over Kafunya's promotional position after she moved on with Midnight and the rest of them. So big up to her. But yeah, so if you can make it, that's going to be a powerful event.
Yes.
Yes, October. I'm giving you enough time.
October, yes. Beautiful.
Kerry-Ann, enjoy your family in Jamaica. Give mom a big hug. I don't know her yet, but hopefully I get to meet her one day in life, and give everybody a big old hug and say, yo, Simon say, wow, go on.
Yeah, I hurry up the things.
All right, my dear. We'll talk, okay?
Okay, have a good night. Bye.
All right, take care. All right, take care. Peace. Oh, man, she's in Jamaica doing her thing, man. I wish I was in JA myself. Lord have mercy, below. Because I've been out Jamaica a long time, but things happen. Let's give her a round of applause. Family, do remember to vote for your brother.
King Simon, I love him. He's family. And he has one of the top shows on the Forbidden Knowledge TV network, actually.
That's right.
So make sure you guys check that out if you haven't.
Yeah, his show is called... it was really based on numerovation. It's a numerology show, and it's called How to Calculate Your Destiny.
Yes.
By King Simon. He's the host of the show. The show has done so well, we're now getting ready to start working on filming season 2. All right, so King Simon, one of the top shows on Forbidden Knowledge TV, streaming TV platform.
That's right, family. Make sure you vote. You can call the number right there on the bottom. That's 954-245-0086. That's 954-245-0086. If you want to vote for your brother, you can vote for me as a television host. You got to vote for everybody. Dr. B is in there. You got Brother Rich in there. You got Donnie Arcade. You got everybody in there. Make sure you dial that number, not dial it, text that number at 954-245-0086, and the whole roster will pop up for you to vote, and you can vote as many times as you want every day. Don't do it right after each other. Do it every day, okay? And I just want to remind everybody that Blue Pill and Red Pill is having a great big event, album release party on the 20th of April from 4:20 to 8 p.m. at the Industry ATL 400 Loyola Drive, where Brother Rich had his big event at. Make sure you contact Red Pill at 347-650-0150. That's Rich Pill, or AKA Red Pill. That's 347-650-0150. I can't be there. I won't be in town, so I'm just making sure. I'm here for my mother's birthday. My mother's celebrating her birthday, and I got to big up my mom. She's here for her 85th birthday. It's coming up on Sunday, so I'm in town in New York doing what I got to do. And if you're in Brooklyn, New York for this gathering of the Grand Masters, this is one of my martial arts teacher, Professor Bill McLeod, May 3rd and May 4th. He's doing his 80th birthday party. And it's all about training martial arts over there at 759 Washington Avenue, and also at 1120 Washington Avenue. Big up to all of the people that's going to go to studymartialarts.com and get your tickets, or call 718-210-3190. And remember, Mfundishi will be on with me soon, and he will be at Nicholas, Brooklyn for the Spiritual Legacies Volume 10. All right, that's May the 11th, 2024 from 6 to 9 p.m. Mfundishi will be in there speaking about the ancient Kush and the parents of ancient Kemet. So most respect to that. And of course, I got a 2-day weekend, October 12th and 13th. On October 12th, which happens to be Dick Gregory's birthday, we're doing a tribute with a comedy show by his nephew, the one, the only Mark Gregory, with a libation from some of the brothers and sisters in the audience. And we're going to have a buffet dinner with the one, the only Blue Pill, and Rafshida will be providing the great alkaline and vegetarian vegan dinners. And then the next day is going to be October 13th, a salute to our ancient culture with Baba Ashra Kwesi and Mirara Kwesi. Very early bird tickets, very early tickets for both days goes on sale July the 1st. Through my Linktree. That's Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. You can scan the QR code if you want to find my Linktree. And this will be in Stone Mountain Village, not on Stone Mountain, not in Stone Mountain, but in the village of Stone Mountain. Location to be announced. It's going to be a brand new venue that I'm going. It's brand new, melanated owned venue, black owned venue. So I can't wait to support that, brothers and his wife's venue. Make sure you support my son, Green Studio NYC, if you want to do recording, mixing, mastering, whatever you want to do. Make sure you hit up my son. He's the picture right there. Him and Jeff, they doing their thing. Make sure you tell him that King Simon sent you. And remember, Kerryanningram, support Kerryanningram and what she's doing. kerryanningram.com. Make sure you book a nice session with her. Also, she does energy work. Make sure you show her love. kerryanningram.com, and also get her jewelry through kerryanningram.com. She got some great healing pieces. Big up to Lloyd Strayhorn. That's Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. One of the teachers, one of the godfathers of Harlem, doing what he got to do in astronumerology. And if you do want to book a session with me, my waiting list is in April going into May right now. So if you want to do a session with me, text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022, and I will send you the advertisement rate. And it has gone up, but I'm just letting you know I will send you a rate. And do remember, my books are on Amazon, or you can go to my Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. That's Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. My audiobook, I'm in New York to download it, to give it to my son so he can mix it at his studio, my audiobook, and we're going to do what we got to do to make sure we get it out. And this book is about to go up in the next couple of days. I'm looking at the 28th, or we might put it up on May the 1st, May Day. So I want people to get this book for their children. The young people will love it. The colors by Rainbow Art. She was with us just the other day with Nicholas. He came out, so I enjoyed everybody. And I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming out. Remember, like Dr. B says, I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection, and I am thankful for my life. Remember, forgiveness is the highest form of healing. Forgive yourself, forgive your family, forgive others for imperfection, and be thankful for your life, because every day allows you to reconciliate, reheal, realign, and remove all of the negative vibes from yourself so it doesn't become a disease one day. And like Dr. Delbert Blair says, please, universal creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth in your love now. We want to thank our late, great elder, Dr. Delbert Blair, for providing such great information when he was here. And a lot of things that Delbert Blair said back in the day is coming through right now. A lot of things that Dr. Delbert Blair said back in the day is coming through right now. So let's show that elder some love. Go to the website. Matter of fact, let me give you Dr. B and his website right now, because I just quoted Dr. Delbert Blair. That's his website, the metacenter2.com, or the Metacenter Chicago, metacenterchicago.com. Make sure you support the Legacy Shop, his books, the diodes, whatever he got on that shop, the videos, all of that. Support Dr. Delbert Blair in the astro realm. And Dr. B series, he's still alive. He's still with us. Make sure you go to elevationtime.com. That's elevationtime.com, or go to his Linktree/Dr. B series. Support the elders while they're here. And that's why I'm doing that tribute to Dick Gregory. I've booked him. I've worked with him before, and his son gave me the blessings to do it. That's why I'm bringing in his nephew, Mark Gregory, to close us out with a funny comedy show. We're gonna be able to ask him some questions and all of that. I'm gonna be able to sit on stage and ask him some questions because it was his uncle Dick Gregory that got him into comedy. So we're gonna confirm it. I'm sending in the deposits to everybody. Make sure Ashra Kwesi get his deposit and everybody else and him. So I want to make sure that October 12th and 13th will be something to remember. And if you need any hotels in that area, Marriott Hotel is over there. Hampton Inn is not too far from there. Also, Comfort Inn is not too far from there. If you want to go into Atlanta, to the Marriott in Atlanta, but there's a nice Marriott hotel in Stone Mountain itself. I've stayed there. I've done events there. So big up to that hotel in the Stone Mountain area also. All right. Family, once again, I want to thank Rizza Islam for coming on with myself and Kerryanningram. Make sure you go to his website right here. Make sure you go to both of his websites. There's 2 websites right there. Make sure you click on that link if you want to see Rizza Islam in New York City with Nicholas Brooklyn and the Spiritual Legacies, with the one, the only Monique, and the one, the only Kafunya. Great job we did this weekend. And also, remember, there is a 1-800 number you could hit up right now. That's 1-800-466-2205, or the email right here. You could hit them up, all right? Once again, have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Be strong, be focused, be your great self. It's your brother, the Numerovator, and I hope to see you next time, all right? Peace and love.
Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.